Hey Eagles, I'm Justin Butler, reporting for the Eagles News Network. Today I have here Dr. Hill, who is the academic officer in North Carolina. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Justin. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic.
Fantastic.
Now, the first thing I want to ask is, how is the Starward STEM project here at the Douglasboro High?
When we got the grant right after the pandemic, we targeted the Douglas Byrd attendance area. And because Douglas Byrd High School is the hub for all the feeder schools, that is the reason why Starward STEM is here. And so it is really and truly an excellent culmination of all the projects and the whole community coming together. And you all have the facilities to house everybody. So it is just so exciting that here, the home of the Eagles, we're here to celebrate Starward STEM.
That sounds fantastic. With that being said, the next question I want to be asking is, what does it mean to be the chief academic officer?
So, for our entire school system, we have several departments that impact the academic achievement of our students. And so, that's my primary responsibility for all 50 plus thousand students. I'm responsible to make sure that all the academic programs, instructional programs, athletics, technology, all of that falls under my responsibility.
That's nice. The next question I'm going to be asking is, what has been the hardest part about being that chief academic officer?
The hardest part is realizing that there are only 24 hours in a day to accomplish what it is that we have to get done. There's so many things that we have made progress in, but when you want to make sure that you're doing the absolute best, how can you ensure that you're providing every advantage to our scholars for them to be innovative, collaborative, and competitive? So that's the hardest part.
Well, I'm sure you'll be great at that, huh?
Well, thank you, Justin. I appreciate your confidence.
You're welcome. And the last question I'm going to be asking is, what do you want to say to the young people still in school?
I want to say to the young people in school, education is the most powerful force from which you can change the world. And that's from the words of Nelson Mandela. So I don't ever want you to give up on your dreams. I don't ever want you to start striving and continuing to strive for your absolute best. That's all I ask for. That's all Dr. Conley and our whole entire school system. Only do your absolute best. And remember, once you have your education, nobody can take that away from you.
I know that's right. Thank you, Dr. Hill.
Thank you, Justin.
I'm Justin Butler, signing off for the Eagles News Network.
Welcome back to the East News Network. I'm Ken Sullivan here in the gymnasium where the STEM Awards will be held this evening. Here I'm with Frank McKay, who's the education consultant at RTI International and who's also an education trainer. It's nice to meet you, Frank.
Nice to meet you.
So today we're going to start with some questions. What are some things about your job that you enjoy?
Well, I used to be a teacher. I used to teach math and science, and I loved doing hands-on learning with my students. And now in my role as an education consultant at RTI, I get to work with other teachers and educators to help them do amazing things with their students. So I really enjoy helping teachers and schools innovate so that students can get hands-on real-world learning.
What do you think is the most important skill for students to learn in STEM?
Gosh, there are so many important skills in STEM. I think really there's two if I can give two. The first is how to ask good questions. We often think as students that the most important thing is what are the answers, but you ask any scientist or engineer and the most important thing they'll tell you to be able to do is to be able to ask good questions. The other thing is to, if you hit a wall and you get to a point where you can't figure out the next step in a problem, to keep persevering. And I think learning how to figure out what to do when you're not sure what to do is a really important skill.
Can you share a memorable project or experiment that you had done with your students?
It's interesting. I taught math and science, but one of my favorite projects was actually an oral history project where we were using technology to interview residents of a community about the history of their community. And we went out and interviewed the students, developed the interview questions. We had interviewed the community leaders, and then they created a museum exhibit. So while it was STEM, it was also about using STEM for a really important purpose. And that was a cool project.
What advice would you give to students interested in pursuing a career in STEM?
Students who want to pursue a career in STEM, I think sometimes it's easy to think, look at people who are successful in STEM and say, oh, they're so smart. And honestly, STEM experts, they're not born, they're made.
Yes.
And students, it's all about the next step. Don't think about, I've got to get a PhD in science, or, I'll never get that career. It's all about asking those good questions and thinking about, like, what's the next step, and learning what are the steps I need to take to go to college and to pursue that career. And just don't give up, I think, would be my biggest advice.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. McKay.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
You're welcome. And that's all from the Eagles.
Hey Eagles, I'm Justin Butler, reporting for the Eagles News Network. Today I'm here in the gymnasium, and I have here Miss Dr. Braswell. Dr. Braswell, can you talk to me how was the STEM Starward here at Byrd?
Thank you so much for having us here today, Justin. We are here for our Starward STEM Expo, which is going to start later this afternoon. We just finished up our Starward STEM sponsor luncheon, where we were able to talk to the folks who have donated to our program to be able to make this initiative happen in Fayetteville and in Cumberland County schools. So it was a fantastic opportunity and experience. We had student winners from last year who presented their projects to us and told us about their experiences and how Starwood STEM has changed their lives. And so we are excited about that, but we are even more excited about the expo that's going to be happening today at 4, when we have multiple schools. We'll probably have about 16 different schools here this afternoon to present their projects that they've been working on all year, and some of them are going to go to space. So we are excited. This is the opportunity for students to showcase their talents, and we have some wonderful students here at Douglas Byrd because they will be participating, as well as throughout the district. So it's been a great day so far.
That's nice. And I'm glad you're having a great day. I'm Justin Butler, reporting for the Eagles News Network, signing off.
I'm Mercuria Gray here with the Eagles News Network. We are in the gymnasium. I am here with Douglas Byrd High School's principal, Mr. Kenneth Williams. Thank you for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me.
I wanted to ask you, is it your goal to make our school into a STEM school?
Not necessarily a STEM school, but we want to make sure you guys have as much STEM related activities and as much STEM related equipment as you possibly can have. Every subject now, every career now has some form of STEM, and we just want to make sure that you guys have everything that you need to be successful in whatever career you want to go into.
How do you plan on involving students in shaping our school's future?
Well, one thing that we're going to be doing coming up next year is we're going to have 2 different types of councils. We're going to have the SGA, of course, and then we're going to have a student council. So I want to get your input. So the biggest thing is for me to find out what it is that you're looking for, what you need, and then make sure that we get you what you need.
You've been promoting the mission and creed vision for Douglas Byrd High School. I wanted to ask, what is our mission and creed and vision?
Well, the first thing is our vision is where we want the school to be 10 years from now, 20 years from now. And honestly, to shorten it up, just a place where all students are able to succeed. Our mission every single day is to make sure that you guys have everything that you need to be life ready and to be successful. And of course, our creed or our core values are we are Eagles. We're going to always be engaged. We're going to be accountable. We're going to grow. We are going to always strive for excellence, service, and leadership. And those are the things that we look for and things that we're expecting out of you guys. And as we go through, especially going into end of this year and next year, we're going to really push that in every area because you guys are Eagles. And I believe you're going to always soar. So that's what we're going to do.
I'm Mercuria Gray for the Eagles News Network. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.